Spoilers for the Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman.
Bullshit, man.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy it. If you saw our review before the spoiler. But, you know, it's here, so we got to talk about it.
Yeah. We're dreading this, but it is what it is. Nah. So, yeah, the movie.
Yep, takes place showing off the Billings family and shows off how the Boogeyman kills his victims and doesn't feed off of them. But then later on, the Boogeyman feeds off his victims. I don't know, kind of a character flaw there to me because it's like, okay, what does a Boogeyman do? Does it kill? Does it feed? Does it
Torture?
kill? What does it do? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, because the Billings family, they had two daughters, and they said that the Boogeyman snapped both their necks. And so it's like, okay, so it didn't feed off of them? I don't know.
It looked like it cut somebody in the opening.
Yeah.
And didn't she blood splat?
Well, that was a little girl. They claimed the Boogeyman broke her neck. Yeah, so I don't know. But then later on, you see the Harper family, and the Boogeyman literally taking Sadie and like draining her, I guess, from her suffering because they lost their mom. And so the family's kind of suffering. And so when Lester Billings came over and, you know, I guess infected the house because the Boogeyman was attached to him, I guess. They didn't do a good job explaining. Anyway, the house gets infected. The Boogeyman's there, and it's feeding off of their sorrow and their pain and their sadness, I guess, their fear. We don't really know. It wasn't really broken down that well. There wasn't an old man or woman coming out like the Boogeyman, you know.
Yeah.
The history wasn't really there, other than I guess it was Rita Billings that said, "Oh yeah, I think it's been around for a long time." What she thinks, she doesn't even know.
No.
She's just like, "It can't. My family can't be the first ones falling victim to this," which she's probably right. So
yeah, the movie's logic really didn't go full circle in this movie, so it left a lot of holes.
yeah,
You're sitting there thinking like, okay, why did this happen? How did this happen? Does this? Nah. Like the Boogeyman, to me, the whole monster concept, to me, it was outplayed. Like it didn't take advantage of, like Donovan said, the darkness and everything. So it's like the Boogeyman's a supernatural entity, but you give it a form.
right.
And at that, you give it a form that I've seen in too many, like, just,
it's,
you know, scary movies with monsters. You see that
four-legged
weird
thing.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? You see it on Cloverfield. I mean, everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. I liked it. I liked it more than Sal did, I think. But I didn't like how they kept going off of it because Boogeyman came out, when again? I keep forgetting, 2005.
Oh, yeah.
The older Boogeyman. And there was probably one before that, but they didn't. He had different forms. It had different forms. It didn't just have that four-legged monster or whatever. And I don't know. Sometimes they would go off of the light thing, and they would be like, okay, some light it can go into, but some light it can't.
It made no sense.
I don't know. Lights out, it was like legit. No lights. Like, it had to be no lights. But
that movie looks better.
Yeah.
Lights Out. I saw the trailer before this spoiler, and it looked a lot better.
Yeah, I told him about it. Think he's going to go watch it.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix, I think, right
We'll
now.
be reviewing it later.
Yeah, it's that one I thought was a pretty good movie. And PG-13. So, I mean, you know, obviously the pacing was a little off, but what horror movies pacing isn't off these days. But anyway, this pacing was terrible.
Yeah, they just don't make them like they used to, guys. They
don't.
really don't. I'm a big movie fan, and I can tell you, I've been telling my girl for the longest, they either ran out of ideas or people's imaginations just ain't the same no more.
Yeah, I don't know. Rob, I mean, which is a director, Rob Savage, I mean, you know, I could see where you were going with this. I don't know if you ran out of ideas, or like Sal said, I don't know if you just kind of took something and was like, okay, here we are. I don't know, but yeah, I just wasn't a fan of it. I thought this movie could have been a lot more than what it was. It was a $35 million budget, which I think you can do a lot with. I mean, we saw Malum. I mean, that did, you know, it did a lot of theatrics with it and everything. And, you know, in the beginning, I enjoyed it because, okay, we're starting off with the Billings family. It's showing this little girl just got taken out. It's okay, so we're about to get down to business, and then...
Sorry, just being a little dramatic over here.
Yeah. So, it, you know, it shows them getting down to business, and then it's just like, okay, it gets into the Harper family, and then we get into the
Harper family? Oh,
Well, Billings. Oh, what's his name? Lester.
Lester?
We get into Lester Billings, and he's like, oh, I needed some therapy to the
I don't know what I'm gonna
therapist
do.
Will, which is Sadie and Sawyer's dad, and he's just like, this dude just walked into our house, but yeah, I'll give you therapy. You need a. First, he was like, no, you need a what's it called?
A referral or something.
You need something. You need to schedule something beforehand, and then I can talk with you. He's like, no, I need to talk to you. Okay, so basically he was saying, I think you can relate to me because your wife died, so you can relate to what I'm feeling because my kids died.
Yeah, he had a loss.
He had a loss in the family, and again, it's supposed to feed off of the suffering, but I guess it makes them tastier if they fear him.
It's tasty.
I don't know. Even though the family didn't know about it until later on, because the boogeyman, the dad didn't even know about it until he got dragged back in the house.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
Well, I think Lester's wife, Rita Billings, she mentioned that he likes to play with his food.
Yeah, she did say that.
Play with his prey, or
she did
have fun
mention
with his
that.
food.
I think he had too much fun. I think it was drawn out too much. I mean, the little girl couldn't be more scared. She had this little, I call it a psychic ball or whatever. You tell the future. She had a little glow in the dark ball or whatever. Yeah. And there's this hallway scene. She rolls it down the hallway, and then the boogeyman breaks it. How does he break a ball full of light, even though he's supposed to be afraid or whatever of light? I don't know.
It makes no sense.
None. But anyway, the ball breaks and she's looking. She's not running. She's looking down the hall. This, I guess, a brave little girl, I guess. And then I guess Boogeyman pops up behind her and drops the ball behind her. Mm-hmm. And then we're thinking, oh, this is it. That's it for her. This darkness, she's done. And then it cuts to, this is what I'm talking about. The scenes were just off. It's like, we don't want to see Sadie downstairs, I don't know, getting some water, whatever she was doing downstairs. We just came from a scene where the girl was upstairs. Yeah. And the ball dropped beside her, and then we're downstairs. And it's like, no, go back upstairs. And then a little bit later, the girl runs downstairs. Sadie, it's like, how is this
You're
girl?
mean. Why'd you do that? Start kicking her and stuff.
It's like, what are you talking about? I don't know. It just, pacing was off. The movie was off to me. I didn't enjoy it. 5 out of 10. Yeah.
I mean, talking about it, like, damn, it might come down to a 4. But I think we're being a little harsh because, again, this is a PG-13, guys, and we went in there expecting to see the boogeyman do its thing. But it didn't do its thing.
Yeah.
It didn't do nothing at all.
I don't know.
Yeah. I went home perfectly fine. I wasn't scared of nothing.
Yeah. And we don't even have to be scared. Just show like a good, I don't know, monster, a good movie, a good psychological thriller maybe. I mean, it's horror mystery, but it's like, it's not really even, I guess the mystery is, what is the boogeyman, what's going on, how does it move from, it didn't even go into how does it move from house to house. It just said, oh, I guess the guy brought the boogeyman over.
Or was the boogeyman after him, trying to kill him?
And
I mean, the boogeyman did kill him.
And
he didn't hang himself.
Yeah, the boogeyman did kill him in the beginning, but then I thought the boogeyman was just after the kids at first.
I thought so too.
Because it just killed the kids, and so it's like, why leave the parents when I don't think it really wants the parents like that. I think it just kind of gets rid of the parents because it just kills them. It doesn't feed off of them. But then it just killed the kids in the beginning. This is what I'm talking about.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense, guys.
Because it was holding Will. Is it Will Harper? Yeah, Will Harper. All weird and stuff. Like, he was cradling him for hours until Sadie gets home.
Yeah, which is the dad of the 2 girls. And it's just like, I don't know.
It made no sense, guys. And then the dad was like the worst dad in the world.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, asshole.
Yeah, the daughter's like, can you just bring up mom? And he's like, no, that's okay.
Talk to your therapist.
Yeah, talk to your therapist. Who's creepy in her own way, Dr. Wheeler, played by Lisa Gay Hamilton. And I don't know, Sal said it was her glasses, but
yeah,
I don't know. There's this therapy session where they had both Sawyer and Sadie in the therapy session. And she's like, okay, Sawyer, which is the little girl. I'm sure you've seen on the trailer where she's rolling the ball under the bed, even though who would do that? But anyway, so they're in this therapy session, and I don't know, I guess it's a real therapy thing where she's like, okay, I got this square light thing where it's gonna be blinking, and every time it gets blinks, it gets slower and slower until it's no more light. And basically, that scene happens, and she's scary in her own way. I mean, let's just be honest. She's like in the background. It's okay. It's like, can you move? Like, I'm getting scared just for you.
Walking around the room and stuff.
And so a lot of the music kicks in, and she's like, Sawyer's like, oh, and then she's screaming, and I think long story short, I was just introducing Dr. Wheeler. She was creepier than the Boogeyman. I'm just in that scene. She just was.
Well, and then at the end, I mean, you would think they'd do something with her, because...
Don't bring up the ending. I mean, that was just terrible. Oh, my gosh. Come on.
I mean, because you bring up a good point. The girls, they heard when Sadie was locked in that closet upstairs with the bullies overheard something going on in the room. When Sadie came up to find Lester, she overheard something in the room. And you want to tell me Dr. Wheeler didn't hear nothing?
She had to have heard something. But did our main character hear something? Did Sadie hear something? Because she thinks Dr. Wheeler called her back in. She didn't call her back in. So I'm like, okay, the Boogeyman's still alive at the very end. And then it gets to a scene where the closet's open.
Yeah.
And then it's like some noise is coming out of there. And she goes up to it. Sadie goes up to it, closes the door, smiles, walks out. Dr. Wheeler's like, why are you, did you forget something? No, I'm okay. What?
Yeah.
It was just terrible.
Sorry for jumping to the end like that, guys, but we brought up Dr. Wheeler, so we had to just...
Yeah,
I had to go there.
We can honestly end it at that. I'm over it. I just didn't even like it.
Yeah, guys, if you want to go watch it, we ain't recommending it. You can just wait.
Just wait. It'll be on Netflix.
It'll be on HBO. It'll be on Paramount. It'll be on something in a couple weeks. Because I don't see it lasting too long. No. So. No.
That's our review, guys. I mean, both gave it 5 out of 10s. I mean.
Yeah. Not much to talk about. It was a disappointment. For me, at least, it was.
It was for me as well.
I mean, the Boogeyman's been around. Just the idea of the Boogeyman's been around. I mean, Stephen King since 1973. My grandma probably knows about the Boogeyman, and it was scary when they told me about it back then, and this movie just wasn't it.
Wasn't it, guys? Disappointing. Sorry if you thought it was going to be something different. It wasn't. But, check it out if you still want to, but we're letting you know it's... Yeah, don't. We don't think you should, but hey, it's your money. Do what you want.
Yep.
Like, comment, subscribe down below, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe down below.
Share with your friends, family, everybody.
We love you guys. We'll see you on another review from another perspective.
Peace.